friends? Hello and welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. So we're doing more on this Toronto Maple Leaf saga because it interests me. It just interests me a lot because for years I feel like it's been so obvious that you just can't be this top heavy and make deep playoff runs. And now I think we're seeing the Leafs fans, we're seeing the Leafs organization. A lot of people kind of realize, I'm like, hey, we can't be this top heavy and be a playoff team that makes a deep run. And now we're seeing, hey, you know what? The Leafs are going to blow up the core this offseason. And, you know, for a lot of us, the question is, what are we blowing up? What's the core? Because when you look at this team and say, hey, let's take a look at the contracts. Let's take a look at what we got to work with here heading into this offseason. Matthews, gonna get the bag, gonna keep the bag. Nylander, nobody's taking at 11.5. Nobody. Not for a winger that, you know, granted, he's put up 40 goals the last two seasons. Goal scoring's up. He gets to play with Tavares. He gets to play with Matthews. Tavares, who, by the way, let's not forget, even as Tavares ages, he declines a little bit. Tavares has been the poster child of a center that produces 40 goal scorer wingers who leaves the team and doesn't come close to producing like that ever again. And we only bring it up because Nylander, believe it or not, getting paid $11.5 as a winger, has been over a point per game all of, I believe, we'll get this right, if we can pull up the stats here, I believe one time in his entire career, or is it two? He was over two times his entire career. Kind of a tough crowd for a guy that's getting paid that much, that's been in the league for as long as William Nylander. Which means Nylander's going nowhere. You're not trading away your franchise center, Austin Matthews. No chance. John Tavares, $11 billion he's going to be getting paid next season. Is somebody going to take on an $11 million John Tavares contract for 1 year? Maybe. I mean, for 1 year, it's possible. But again, you don't really fix your problem getting rid of John Tavares, because in this league, it is so important to have that 1-2 punch up the middle. If you're putting $30 million, $22 million in your wingers, and you only have one center up the middle, that can make things very difficult. Then you turn your eyes to Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner, who, by the way, I believe... Say what you want. I believe he's that winger that's got the ability to carry a line and produce points. I believe in Mitch Marner more than I believe in William Nylander from that regard. I'm not a Leafs fan. I don't watch every single game. I could be wrong, but again, you hate to bring up the points game, but we will bring up the points game. Yeah, of course, Marner doesn't score as many goals, 35, 30, 29, but he does provide the apples. He has consistently been 97, 99, 94. He's consistently put up big numbers on offense throughout his career, and that's where I stop and say, he's not. He's 100% not. But I think of him more as an Artemi Panarin or a good Johnny, consistent Johnny Gaudreau. You know, these guys that are very good playmakers that can bring up the ones around him on his line. Or I don't think that's Nylander. I think, again, Nylander he's the goal scorer. If you clamp that down, it's like he's not bringing up the rest of the line like Marner is, which means Nylander's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bring down Nylander. I'm just, you know, from that perspective, I think you really got to think of what happens when you remove these core players. You're obviously not going to move your only defenseman. So, I think it's tough. It's really tough. Where are you starting with this? Do you start with Tavares? I mean, at the end of the day, what kind of trade value does John Tavares have at that age? I've seen some funny looking trades out there, funny ones, where there's like, hey, we're going to get Zach Werenski. Oh, they're going to give us a pick. We're going to give John Tavares. Ain't no chance. There's no chance. Anybody's doing that. None. We're entering the draft, though. Let's enter the draft first, see what we're going to walk away with. We actually came close to getting a realistic draft pick for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to enter that so we can get to free agency. Picking middle of the draft. Leafs going to pick a little bit later than that. But we'll see. Just for fun, you know, anybody can drop around this time. We'll see what we can do here. Ooh. Ooh, people still liking Seneki. Seneki, pretty solid player. How's he looking here? 16 goals, 40 assists in a C minus competition. The scouts got him ranked 17. C minus competition, 62 points. We don't know what's going on here. He must be in a Swedish or Finnish league. 9 points, 42 penalty minutes. A bruiser. Might not be a bad pickup this late in the draft, though, at least. I think, again, you're not looking for that overpowering player. You're looking for a couple good pieces on defense, and you're looking for a couple pieces to add some depth. What's ever so important is having that bottom six being very, very solid that can produce points. If your offense's top six gets slowed down. 45 points C minus competition there. A pretty good season right there. 70, 77, 78. No, 77. I was right. 77 points for Paraskat. Paraskat, he's a sniper. Again, we don't really need that, but we might get that. The Liga player here. Got him rated pretty good as well. Good competition. 17 points on the season. Do we go with Hellenius or do we go with... I don't know. I don't think I can turn down... I don't think I can turn down that point production. That's impressive. That's really impressive. 77 points, 54 penalty minutes. How old is he? 18. 10 plus minus. I like that. I like that a lot. 200-foot game. So they're saying he can play on both ends. That's good. Hard wrist shot. A shooting. B minus puck skills. Maybe B minus defense. C minus on his skating. So he's not the fastest skater. We're taking. They're saying his AHL top 6 potential. Not scouted well. Do we trust EA? Do you ever trust EA with the scout? Because the other way is going Hellenius, right? We're gonna go here. Getting gutsy. What we get? Medium, top 6 forward, potential 70 overall. That is going to wrap things up for this draft. We're not going to take the later rounds. I just don't imagine us seeing them in the next season. We're really just going to see what we can do in one season. We might not see this guy in one season, but hey, just in case, we'll see what happens. We're going to go ahead and enter the RFA area. We're going to enter the free agent area. And does the trade window open during restricted free agency or does it not? I want to say it does. Maybe it does. Because see, if it doesn't, we're going to have ourselves a problem because we're right up against the cap. No, it's not open right now. View contracts, pending free agents. Let's see what we got to work with here. These aren't our pending free agents. There's good pending free agents out there, though. Let me tell you what. I'll take a look at our pending free agents. Once again, you got... It looks like Liljegren's got to be RFA'd. We have to RFA him. Qualify RFA, 1.4 million. Who else is due a contract 2024, 2025? Tyler Bertuzzi. Do you want to keep Bertuzzi? He wants to be here. 29, pretty solid. I think how much money does he want? Take a look here. He wants 4.3. And again, this is where things get difficult. Cap space, 15 million. Lots of cap space. Mark Giordano's too old. He's gone. TJ Brody. I don't think he's worth it. He's gone. Joel Edmondson. I'm revamping the whole defense. You want to talk about blowing up the core, blowing up the defense. Max Domi's just... I don't know what it is. I just don't... I don't think he's... he brings the best out of teams when he plays them. He's gone. Walfer Robertson. We'll qualify him. Labushkin. We might keep Labushkin. Add a little bit of depth there on defense for a guy that's potentially a little bit cheaper. 2.9 is still a lot. That's the thing with defense, though. They're going to cost money. What if we go 2.5? I feel a little bit... But see, the thing is, when you get the veteran defensemen, they cost money, but you have to sign them. RFA and Gregor, he can stay. How much money do you think he wants? 2.25. Woo! Okay. We should just qualify these guys and see what happens, I guess. But John Klingberg's just so injury prone. You got Timmins. You got DeWalt. We're going to have some guys that need signed. There ain't no way all these guys want this money. Right? Okay, he wants reasonable money. Thank you, DeWalt. Thank you for being a good person. Being a good sport. Gambrell. How's Gambrell doing? He had a good season. 30. He had a really good season. 69 points. He played 18 minutes. That must be AHL numbers. Those NHL numbers? They were good for him. What a season. What happened? He lit it up. Again, imagine the money he wants and he's not going to get. Oh, he doesn't want nothing. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. RFA and Steves. We'll keep you around. There you go. LeJoie will keep you around. Ooh, that's kind of expensive. I don't know if we want to keep you around for that kind of money on defense. We're not. We're gonna qualify you on RFA, and somebody can take you if they want. We're going to do that. And the UFA and Clifford, he can go. That's it. Let's go back to Tyler Bertuzzi. I think we have to offer Tyler. Free agency is expensive, and Tyler does want to be here. We're going to try to keep him. Can we keep him for a little less? I don't know. We're going to be tough there. I mean, we're talking about blowing the core up anyway, so we'll see what happens there. That should do the trick there. Everybody offered money that needs to be offered money. Hopefully these guys come back and say, hey, we'll take that money and let's go to make some deals here. Will they? Probably not. Can we hope? Absolutely. It was an easy decision. Thank you, Libby's. Thank you, Bertuzzi. Thank you, Gregor. Thank you, Dewar. Thank you, Gimbrell. Thank you, Steve. So everybody said that'll work. Maybe we should have just qualified that other RFA. I don't know if we did. Actually, I don't know if we got enough players accept their contracts. They might still be qualified RFAs. They are. Lilligren's still there. Giordano, we didn't want to sign those guys. Robertson's still an RFA qualified version. Yeah, we did all right though. Joao, was he the one that wanted more? Who was the one that we offered 2 something? I think he took the deal, right? Was it 2 something? 2.15. It was Gregor, I think. Yeah, that'll work though. We're gonna have to enter the RFA period. And enter the free agency period and see what's out there, see what we can make trades with. All right, so we have our young studs being assigned to our team through the draft, and here we are. We are entering free agency. The following scouts have not been removed. Jake Muzzin of the AHL Central is not coming back, so we're going to rehire this staff real quickly. Shouldn't take much time. What do we need here for NHL? For scouts active, we're good. We're actually good because we're not going to be here next season anyway. We're just going through one season. Kind of interesting in free agency. Now we should be able to make trades, right? Because that's what we really have to do first year to open up the books. Yeah, we can. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at this team. It's not going to let us look at the lines. That's the one thing it don't let us do in a free agency is take a peek at the lines. Real quick, though, we'll look at the contracts, make sure we're good here. We have $8 million in cap space, actually. But we're blowing it up. We're blowing up the core, so we'll see what we can work with here. How many contracts? How many contracts? How many contracts? 3750. Oh, we got to sign a lot of players. We got a lot of players to put onto this roster, as we expect. Real quick, this is going to be the best way we can do it, I guess. So look, centers, we have Matthews, Tavares, Jan Kroc, Gregor. Not too shabby, but one of those guys probably going to go. Left wingers, Nyes and Bertuzzi. So if we can get a true left winger, that would be nice. And we have Marner, Nylander, and Holmberg. We actually have a couple right wingers we have to get. We need to get we need to get about 3 wingers. 3 wingers, really. 4 obviously would be nice to have. We need a defenseman. I mean, kind of already had the team blown up a little bit when we're really looking at things here, considering the guys gone in the free agency period. I wish I knew. I just don't see a team taking John Tavares. That's the problem. I don't see a team taking John Tavares. I don't see him taking William Nylander. Maybe in this game they do. I still feel like Nylander's the one you gotta let go. And I could be completely wrong for that. Look at these 2 players real quickly on this team. Let's go forwards. Why is this is free agency? Why is this not our players? I'm saying there's no way you get rid of you either blow up the core. Who wants a 33-year-old John Tavares? He's 87 overall still. He still wins draws very exceptionally. Still plays solid defense. I mean, he's doing what you need him to do. Nylander does a lot too. Don't get me wrong. 22 goals, 60 assists last season. More of a playmaker than he is a shooter on this particular team in the roster. And Sim does play excellent defense. 91 defensive awareness. 78 shot block into stick shape. That's an interesting combination where his defensive skills aren't near as high as his attribute. I guess they'd probably bump that up just to get him to the 93 if I had to guess. I know the answer is get rid of John T. Let's look at free agency real quick and see if there's any sort of option that says, all right, we can do this. Save 11 bills on the cap, and you have to do it that way. Who is, I want everybody now. I want unrestricted free agents. There's Montour. I do like the idea of Montour. Montour would be a great pickup. What's he? Oh gosh. He wants $9 million. Not as good of an idea as I thought it was going to be. Not as good of an idea as I thought it was going to be. What do we have here? Teams interested. There's no interest to teams in Pesci. Pesci would be a good one. And this is, again, ever so important. We're going to bump it up a couple. We're going to go 6.6 to make sure he comes. There's your contract. Did we do that? And can we pull the contract? Was that a good idea? I'm not sure. There. We do need another defenseman. They're so expensive. I mean, that's how defensemen are in this game. They run a high bargain. But again, I mean, we're not getting Gustafsson. Gustafsson is not worth that kind of money. How's Chris Tanev look? Just to, again, add a little depth here. Defenseman type of player. He's a -5 last season. Look here, 84 giveaway. A lot of giveaways. I ain't a fan of that at all. Has a lot of giveaways. Barbanov, again, good depth guy, I think, but expensive for the price. How about Pacioretty? Is Pacioretty a two-way player yet? Nice, though, sniper. Pacioretty. How do we feel about Pacioretty? A vet. Did he even play last season? He hasn't even won anything. Did he get to play last season? I feel like he didn't. 22-23, he did. 23-24, he was 55. Another guy with a lot of giveaways. 61 takeaways, though. Excellent in the defensive category for him, really. Plus 260 points. That's not a bad piece to add. That's not a bad piece to add at all. For a winger, a complementary new center, we only got so much money to work with. And that's where the problem's about to come up. We're going to give Pacioretty a contract. I like the... now we got to find a center. What center is out there? And this is the thing. This is the thing of getting rid of John Tavares over Nylander. You have two centers to choose from. 49-year-old, 39-year-old, I'm calling 49, 39-year-old Joe Pavelski who won $7.5 million. I mean, at that age, you might as well keep Tavares. Or Caleb Stevenson, who wants 5.5 with a -10 last season, 81 in the dot. Not as good in the dot as what we have, but it's definitely going to shave off $4 million in cap space. We're offering him the contract. We're really going to offer him this money. There you go. And we, for some reason, you have to, not for that much. So Tyler Toffoli wants too much. The amount that these players want in free agency is what's really killer here. Because I don't want to pay Daniel Sprong that kind of. You don't want to pay Daniel Sprong $6 million instead of Mitch Marner. So there's two players. We have how much cap space? $8 million. We have to make room for some cheaper players. And I'm thinking it's just Tavares that's going to go. Because you're going to be stuck bringing guys like Tyson Barrie back, Valimaki. I don't mind Valimaki for 2.8. We're going to offer him about 2.9. Make sure he wants to be here. Younger defenseman. You can always bring Max Domi back if you want to go that route. He's 2.8. I just don't like him. How can we have a scouting report on our own player? I just don't like him further down there as a playmaker on the team. Johnny Tays still an 83. Excellent two-way center. I'm going to pick him up. 2.8 years wanted 1. The other team's interested in none, so that's a good option there. Roslovic. I mean, here's the thing we ain't talking about as well. If we're going to blow up the team, not only are we going to move these players, but John Tavares is going to get traded, or sign these players. John Tavares is going to get traded, and there should be something of interest from other teams, right? Yeah, he still has some decent trade value. Who can afford him? Who wants him? Of course, Boston would want. We can't send. We're going to be nice about this. We can't send him interdivision. Let's talk to Calgary. Calgary likes making interesting trades like this. Who are they willing to will and deal? Who are they willing to will and deal that save us some money? Could we rephrase that one? There's Kadri. I like the idea of a Kadri. Little reunion action. Who's got cheaper forwards? Not these guys. They want to get rid of Sharangovich. No. Sharangovich, again, perfect idea of a center, possible winger. 42 penalty minutes, 42 points. I don't like that -13. Their whole team might have struggled last season, though. 67 takeaways, 45 giveaways. Really good. Again, another guy, very solid defensive. We're trying, emphasis on trying to redo this team to where we bring in more players that are defensive-minded players. We're going to come back to Calgary, see somebody else's cheaper players. Carolina will be over the cap. I don't think Chicago has anybody, right? Just Bedard. Yeah, that's not gonna. Well, actually, Kurashev's a little bit cheaper. What's Kurashev looking like here? A playmaker. Big plus minus negative there. Playmaker that doesn't win a lot of draws. I don't know where we would put him, but again, we're trying to acquire assets that are a little bit cheaper. And I mean, you get Donato and Kurashev. Donato, a two-way guy, put up 48 points last season, actually. Pretty solid there. But we have to keep in mind they are on the Blackhawks, so they're not exactly the highest touted of players when it comes to the plus-minus department. I mean, they could always get Korchinski straight up. Would Korchinski go? Because, that's a good contract. I don't think they have him under a longer term deal yet. Nah, he's got 2 years remaining. So let's say we do Korchinski. Really reaching here, because that would be a stud young defenseman. Contract friendly. It is exactly what you think of if you're the Leafs, I think, here, is picking up a defenseman to try and bolster this team for the long haul. Because you got the forwards for the long haul. We would like your second round pick as well, Chicago. Second round pick and Tavares, send it. Trade rejected. Okay, so that was way too much. I was afraid we wasn't getting enough in return. Honestly, straight up, and I can't see. I don't even know if I would do it straight up about Chicago. And they won't. The question is, if you're Toronto, or is he worth giving up some future for? To me, yes. If you believe in this guy's future of being a top line defenseman, yeah, Tavares is gone in a year. Sure, you pay up for that. The question is, what does Toronto got to offer? A lot of the future is gone. We're going to give up a second round pick for him. They're still totally unwilling. I mean, I'm willing to do any pick outside of the first round. Especially if you're Toronto playing on being a playoff team, it's going to be a late first rounder. I mean, a second rounder, who cares? You want another second? Because we're willing to wheel and deal it. We'll give you 2 seconds and a third for the man. And they took it. That's going to work. I mean, they take that contract off our books. We pick up another young defenseman. And now all of a sudden, a little bit of cap space. Low cap space to work with, 18.86. I'm afraid to not make all of our offers right away because teams will pick them up. But we now have a full plethora of defensemen. And we're talking about bringing in one more. And if the cap gets tight, then, Benoit can go. So we got one more coming in. We already have Morgan Riley, Korchinski, the future of this team. Korchinski coming in. You expect him to 84, 85. Again, still working on the center lines a little bit. Still working on depth a little bit. I want to see everything. What am I looking at here? What did I mess up last time? Where I didn't have everybody? Oh, I'm looking at forwards. That's why. What did happen here? Left wingers. So we still need to work on the wingers. And that is thankfully nice. It's going to be solid. Bertuzzi solid. We're keeping Marner. We're keeping Nylander. We're keeping Matthews. What we really need is center play. A good winger. I'm still sitting on. We can pick up depth wingers. I'm still sitting on getting good defensemen. What do we have? 18 million in cap space. We make sure we don't spend all of it because we do have to sign lower tier players as well. And is it going to show us who exactly we've thrown money at so far? I think it's still well, right? Yeah. So Pesci 6. Stevenson's 5.6. So 6. What was that? 6 for Pesci? That ain't right. 6.5, we're going around down. 6.5, 5.5, so that's 12. Who's the other player? Velimaki, 12, 14, 8. Dang, okay, we're right up against the border. We can't, we offered who we'd offered. We'll see what teams are thinking. We'll see what this team looks like if they accept those contracts. If they don't, we'll come back. We don't really have a choice because we already offered them money. And if we can't, we offer another player money, they're going to say, we'd sign up, we don't have the money. So we have to offer what we have and come back and see what teams say. They're going to give it a few days. They're going to troll us a little bit. Hey, we're a little nervous. Hey, nobody does this in real life, ever. They're extended. Okay, so we got Valimaki. We got Johnny Taze. Anybody else? These other guys got some big offers and are taking some time. No, interested, but he went to Chicago. See, this is what drives me nuts. It's like, if you're interested, the other guy probably didn't come too. If you didn't think you was getting enough money, tell us that before you go to another team. Stevenson came. Okay. But the face that we wanted, the biggest signing at defense that we wanted did not sign here. And it drives me nuts. Yeah, that's tough because if you're in free agency, you're like, hey, that wasn't enough. And then you come back. Instead, that didn't happen. I mean, we could still look at DeMello. We might be able to pick up, Liljegren if we would. Do you want to go down that road again with Liljegren? DeMello looks really solid defensively. What's he looking like? Offer contract. He wants no teams with an interest. Other teams, Chicago's interest. Of course they are. We'll offer him a little bit more. Chicago, you'll be up against the cap. Yeah, right. I'd say up against the cap. What do we got for cap space? We have, where's the cap at? 10.3. We can't afford it. I was gonna double dip on both. It's gonna happen. I still want. We are all in on this depth when it comes to the defense. Let me tell you what. We're gonna add Kylington, I think. Kylington. I mean, it's a combination of offensive defenseman and defensive defenseman. He wants to be an offensive line pair 1. That's not really gonna fit here. So maybe we don't throw him the money. 2.5 for Silverberg. See, I like guys like Silverberg as well. I feel like that's a good defensive two-way player. You add him to your depth or add him to your bottom 6. You need guys like that as well. 38. Why did everybody have so many giveaways last season compared to usually the past? I don't know what's happened with that. 81, 84. What are we talking about here? Oh, JVR. I don't want JVR. That's why he doesn't want anything. Forbort. It'd be nice if we could look at the team as we go. Kako, what's Kako on? 2.2. Because he still has that elite potential, even if it's low. As a two-way forward, that elite potential. Is he center? No, he's a winger, so that's good. I'd throw Kako a bone. For an 80 overall for 2 years with that kind of potential, possibly. There's Max Domi again. There's Eric Johnson's going to be getting old as well, doesn't he? But it still adds a veteran presence to your defense. I'm really looking at bolstering up the last D pair, if possible. That's not our team. We have money thrown at 1 player, or was it 2? We'll take a look real quick at this. So our centers, again, looking better. Matthews, Stevenson, Tavares, or Taze and Tavares, and Yarncrook. So we're good down the middle. I feel really good. We're old, but I feel really good about those players down the middle. As far as the wingers are concerned, we still need a winger there. Holmberg, Marner, Nylander. We really need a couple wingers. And as far as the defense is concerned, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defense. We're going to try to get that defenseman. That's going to make me feel better about things if we can bolster up just a little bit more. Pesci is supposed to be our guy. I would still like it to be our guy. Pesci is supposed to be our guy. So we're going to go make sure we get that defenseman. We definitely need to pick up some wingers after that. And we're good down the middle. So we added, who did we add? Where did he go? Did we not offer somebody money? Where'd he go? Oh, we're still in Toronto. I do this every time. I'm so confused. We go from free agents to contracts, So, yeah, we added DeMello. I still like that. I still think that's a necessity. And then we got to start looking at potential wingers. And again, I think we're strong enough on the top 2 lines, winger-wise, to feel all right about things. I think we have the talent around those guys. We'll be all right there. We need to add some depth on. We need to add some depth on players that can, again, put goals on the scoreboard. Blake Will is still a playmaker. I was really hoping he wasn't. I thought he was a two-way guy. Tyler Johnson's a two-way guy. How much does he want? 2.4. William Carter is the type of bruiser you want down there, the power forward type of player. He played well last season, plus minus a 0 in Vegas, though. I don't know how I feel about that one. Heinen, Silverberg. Again, I do like Silverberg, and he was on Anaheim. So that is always, something to look at. 36 giveaways, 36 takeaways. We're gonna try him. We're gonna offer a contract to Silverberg. No team's interested. All right, we're gonna go a little bit more just in case. And we're gonna offer. Do we go Carrier? How much cap space we got? 10.3. Okay, plenty cap space. And we're gonna offer. We really don't have plenty if we go through. We have to find another guy that's worth $2 million. Maybe another, again, value add here. Victor Olofsson's great, but he's a sniper. That's what I figured. I like Olofsson if he wasn't a sniper. Boy, 20 or two-way forward. Once he's been a first line here, that's never going to happen. Joshua is another one. How much does he want? He wants 2.3. For 2.3, I think we can get a lower overall for that price. We don't need Domi. Some of these guys want a lot of money. A lot of money for what they're bringing to the table. I'll tell you what, now somebody's talking. Klingberg's talking. Martinez is talking. But we really don't need those guys. We need some wingers. Let's try Jammark, maybe. Jammark wants a little bit lower on the cash department. Doesn't really fit anywhere according to our scouts. How well is the scouting system? That's the next question. Watson, Kubalik. Kubalik, how did you do last season? 204, and that's not as great as I'd like to see. But I mean, you're gonna get what you pay for at some point when you're down here on this part of it. I think Lindblom, he's a little better defensive. Let's talk to Lindblom. We'll give him a little bit of money. Throw him a little bit of dough. Any teams interested? No. So we should be good there. Rana, Nosek. So is Nosek. He's solid defensively. You want the Nosek some money. You get some money. You get some money. You get some money. Okay, so here we are. And this is the thing with free agent. And this is the thing with destroying, just blowing up the core. You just don't pick players. You just don't build a team through free agency. Rarely. Because it's going to cost you some money, because that's just how free agency is. Players' values go up a little bit. You're going to have some young guys. You're going to have to trade for some players. You're going to have to do something. DeMello. Are you kidding me right now? We didn't get any of these guys in Chicago. Took them both. What are they offering you in Chicago? That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I thought that was an easy one. They just threw all that money at their other defensemen. Where are they getting this money from? I'm sorry, Toronto, but we don't have a choice. We're stuck with Liljegren. No. Defense was all we preached by blowing up this core, and we're learning very quickly this is the state of the game. Just because you blow up the core doesn't mean all these defensive problems are just going to magically be solved. You're not guaranteed anything. Nosek, Silverberg, Lindblom, all willing to come. Does not mean you're fixing any problem. Now, we did trade Tavares for one of Chicago's stud young defensemen. Maybe that was karma. And we got Liljegren. But overall, the defense still questionable entering the season. You could almost argue it almost got worse. Riley, Liljegren, McCabe, Korchinski, Lapushkin, Timmins. It's the top line that I'm worried about. I think Korchinski grows, and that's a big step for your future. But, you get what you get. What do we got in cap space? Cap space. We have 3.885. Really, we don't need another center. I would really like to find a way to get another defenseman. I would have never guessed that became a problem in that sort of shape and fashion that quickly. But it did. Where bidding wars happen when who would say, yeah, let's go to Chicago. Let's go to Chicago. Yeah, that'd be great. Nah, there's none left. Well, I mean, we are where we are with the defenseman. We are where we are. What we can do is, again, add some depth just in case at one of these positions, possibly trade them down the road if necessary. But I mean, it's looking like it's going to have to be a forward because we don't have a lot. And that's going to wrap things up for our free agency period. We'll leave a little bit of cap space just in case. But to say, hey, Matt, here's the question. Like, really? As much as that was difficult, I mean, we did only really lose Tavares and, maybe some less key parts to this offense. But is the loss of Tavares worth it? I've been thinking about your qualifying offer for a while, and I feel another year with it. I bet you will. Once somebody offered you that, you thought for a really long time. We're going to enter the end of this period, right? I'm waiting for it to say free agency has started. Doesn't look like it. There it is. Okay. Let's see what our lines are looking like here real quickly. Nylander, Matthews. No, Stevenson's not going to be a first-line winger when we signed him to be our center, actually. Thank you. We're going to put you here. Do we put Nyes up here? Yeah, we're going to put Nyes up there. Nyes, Nylander, Matthews. Is that the answer we want? Yeah. And we'll go Stevenson, Marner, Bertuzzi, Tay, Silverberg. I'm really liking the bottom six. I will say that the bottom six right now, it's looking fantastic. Let's see who's better face-off draws. That would be Camp. Now, the defense is where I'm concerned. Are we going Liley, Lilligren, McCabe, and Timmins? No, we're not going to do that because this guy's got to go up here and get some minutes in. The goaltender. The goaltender is another question. We have Wall right now as our guy. And is that what we're feeling confident in? Because we kind of have to. What lines need? No, I'm done. I'm good. I'm done. I don't care about no captains. Let's look at the free agency, see if there's any goaltenders out there. We kind of got sidetracked, but we kind of knew at the same time, like, you can't afford to throw money at a goaltender, unfortunately. Goaltenders. Did they leave anybody out here? Anybody at all? Anybody at all? Oh, baby, we can get Scott Wedgwood. I think we should. He wants an entry-level contract. Just add a little veteran experience in that. And then we're going to see what happens with this team. Toronto. That was difficult. You know, you got to let guys go. We had to let some guys go. Because here's the thing. You had to let some of them guys go just to open up the books. It was certainly not easy by any stretch of the imagination just choosing anyone. Anyway, we did retain Lilligren at the end of the day. But that's how it's going to work. If you're Toronto, you got them guys getting older. And you got guys you want to bring in. Did they already automatically bring him up? No, they didn't. What's Holmberg doing down here? How's he looking? How old's he? 25. But you can stay down there. Where's Scotty Wedge at? Scotty Wedge. There you go. We're going to bring you up. We're going to send him down. Cancel. I don't know what I did that for. I was wondering. Stop it. I want him going. Yeah, there we go. I was hitting the wrong button. I'm going to send you down. That'll work. Now we got our backup in. We'll edit the NHL lines. I'd assume they'd mess with them if they didn't do that. So, even strength goaltenders. Wedgwood is now our backup. Hopefully the goaltending situation. It's just funny. It's funny because it's so crazy how difficult it is. Where, you know, I think Toronto, if it was easy, Toronto would have probably did it at some point in time. It's so difficult to bring in veteran defensemen, bring in the goaltending. You're just asking for so much when you're missing the entire back end like that. And, you know, nobody wants to give that up. You know, Boston's hoarding 2 goalies all the time. There's a lot of teams that do that where they'll hoard multiple goalies. And you do it for good reason because you understand how difficult it is to replace them down the road. Just like the defenseman, rarely, you know, unless the guy wants out, rarely, you know, or your Ottawa, rarely do you let your good young defenseman go. So you're kind of stuck with the veterans who down the road struggle a little bit more. Or, you know, they just decline a little bit more, but they still want a hefty price tag. And that's what gets difficult as well. Because, like, yeah, do you want to pay $4 million for a defenseman that's going to be your third liner? And when you do that, you end up like Columbus Blue Jackets. Toronto looking like a 500 hockey club right now. We'll see if they start to piece some wins together here with this current squad. Right now, 500 not looking good. I can't imagine Tavares was that big of a piece. I mean, I can though. And that's the thing about, again, we talked about it as soon as we started this video. It's so difficult because why would you want to get rid of a center? Here's the list, right? Center, defense, goalie. Those are the ones you hold on to as near and dear as you possibly can because they're so difficult to come across if you let one go, if you don't have one coming up. And, you know, you let Tavares go. Is that going to hurt this team? Right now, Toronto 18-10, 19-10. Finding their sweet spot is this Toronto Maple Leafs team. And will they continue or will you see a little bit of a skid? Because the difference in a good hockey club and a bad one is they hit that sweet spot and then they lose. Would they lose 6 in a row? That's what concerns you. It's been a weak division, though, apparently, because they're still first place in the Atlantic. I mean, they gotta start winning games. That's not going to last all season. There ain't no way 26-19 is winning you this division. You got to get that win percentage up just a little bit. 27-20 right now, though. What am I looking at? Yeah, that's right. That was the opponent. Yeah, that's crazy. It's tight, though. It is really tight there. So Toronto's just hanging on. There we go. Starting to win a few games. Again, we're going to continue on with this Toronto Maple Leafs team throughout the season. We put a lot of time into moves, a lot of times into this team. And we'll quickly, just to make sure things are working, I guess. We did put a lot of time into this team. We would make sure things are working, right? Make sure things are working line-wise. Nice has 38 points. I mean, that's not bad. You expected him to produce a little lower. Matthews down a point per game, 96 overall, though. Nylander down a little bit as well. The points aren't there. Second line's performing a lot better. And that's what we was expecting. We're saying, hey, Mitch Marner can carry that second line. Don't you think he can? And that's kind of what's happening right now. The more important of what we're seeing, that third line is producing 9 goals, 13 goals, 21 goals, +7, +8, +0, 4 goals, 5 goals. 8 goals. That is so important. So important that you get them bottom units producing a little bit there. Plus 37 for Riley, plus 40 for Lilligren. That combination is working. McCabe -6, Korchinski -4. Korchinski up to the 83 still. -10, -9 for Lyubushkin and Timmins. I don't like that. Who was our other defensive option? Do we have one? Valimaki. That's who we really brought in the first place. So we're going to put him in. Give him an opportunity to shine here with Timmins because clearly that wasn't working. And we'll run this season up with this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Right now, all things considered, not doing too shabby. First place in the division. I mean, I think you take that going into the trade deadline. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. We'll be a seller. Why not? Because we're not going to go into it anyway. There you go. Come on, Toronto. What are we doing? Walking in the playoffs with the Stanley Cup? Because you know what? That would be nice. That would be nice. I'd really appreciate that. You can't really walk into the playoffs with the Stanley Cup. Let me backtrack that. Walking in going to win the Stanley Cup would be nice. The 40-23, starting to take a lift is this Toronto Maple Leafs team. 42-24. Still, again, like I said, it was a little bit of a weaker division this season. But hey, we're not going to complain because they're going to finish. I mean, they're going to finish with just under 100 points, right? Or just at 100 points. They're going to get their. Jeez. Can we draw somebody else, please? The team that won like 8 straight games in the playoffs this season. That'd be nice. They're going to finish with 106 points. Is that what Toronto ended up with? Matthews did get above a point per game. Yeah, 106 points. Best team in the division. Sabres, Montreal. What is happening? Sabres, Montreal. Boston dead last. Florida 90 points. Wow. I didn't see that coming. So 3.66 goals for the goals were there. 3.01 goals against. A huge improvement there. 3.01 goals against. Something we've been waiting to see this team do. Get it down there around the threes, lower under 3. Nylander 86. Marner again, like we said, ability to carry that line 84. Morgan Riley had a stellar season, plus 44. Stevenson 71 points in that second line. I mean, that's what now I feel really good. See, if you could make this happen, you got rid of Tavares and you got the literally better goal scoring production and probably similar face-off draw production. Yeah, 53%. If you can get that out of a guy, oh yeah. Open up $5 million, $6 million in cash and get that. That's the dream situation if you're a Leafs fan. As you sell Tavares, get the same production for $6 million less. Here we go. Rangers in the first round. When we walk past the Rangers, fine and dandly, or this Rangers team going to be as good as we expected? So much for the defense we was talking about. 8-5, 6-4, 6-3. The team is pouring it on against the New York Rangers. There's a low-scoring game. We've been waiting for that. Who did the Toronto Maple Leafs get in the first round, second round? They got out of the first round, by the way. Pretty big accomplishment. They're going to get the Montreal Canadiens. Here's the big test for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It has been years. Some would say lifetimes since the Toronto Maple Leafs made it to the conference finals. They are 1 win away, and they're going to face the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it feels like the Toronto Maple Leafs year, if it ever felt like the Toronto Maple Leafs year. You got the Montreal Canadiens. You draw the Blue Jackets in the conference finals. Speaking of young, talented teams, if they can piece things together. Interestingly enough, though, the defense has not been here. There's a 2-1. There's a 3-1. That's what you wanted to see. Slower scoring games. 4-1. We'll go to a game 7 in Columbus. We're going to Game 7 in Toronto. Toronto, for a chance to visit the Stanley Cup Finals, just has to get past the Columbus Blue Jackets. Solinger, Vornikov with the goals. 3-0. No way. There's no way it's my Blue Jackets stopping this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Toronto going to make it to the conference finals. Game 7. You said a dream matchup against the Columbus Blue Jackets team that hasn't been here in ever. And you felt like the confidence was through the roof. You needed to win one of the last 2. And the Blue Jackets said, hold up a second, says Toronto. Toronto with 3 goals in under a minute. 3 goals. What is happening, Columbus? This really just happened. 3 goals in 13 seconds. Only in the world of EA. That ain't even possible. There's no way that's possible. 3 goals in 13 seconds. Merzlikins just laid an absolute egg in overtime. I can't believe it just happened. Who was writing them off? 3 goals in 13 seconds. Power play, Toronto. Toronto needs to put one in the back of the net, and they will. A comeback for the ages to add to this Toronto Maple Leafs story. Unbelievable. 3 goals, 13 seconds, Game 7, trip to the Stanley Cup Finals. 3rd period, by the way. It was over. Now they're going to get the Blues in the finals, and Blues, again, felt like a team you could really handle if you was Toronto. Right now, they're down 0-2, lost both at home after that massive Game 7 win. A little bit of a hangover, possibly, because they're down 3-1 to the Blues. Blues, another team, felt like you could beat. Toronto's going to lose in 5, though. But what a story, man. I don't know if that ended like that after the way Game 7 was, that'd be heartbreaking. Nonetheless, they get them to the Stanley Cup. Blowing it up, gets to the cup. As always, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.